Hi, I'm Matthew Lapp, host of Matthew Lapp Train Guy. Also today I'm at the Hagerstown Railroad Museum in Hagerstown, Maryland. The Hagerstown Railroad Museum is located on 525 Highland Way in Hagerstown, Maryland, and is in Hagerstown City Park. And also the museum is open from mid-April to mid-October on Fridays and Saturdays 10 to 4. The Hagerstown Railroad Museum started in like the 1980s and also features a lot of railroad memorabilia and even has a former Baltimore and Ohio depot from Keedysville, Maryland, where it has exhibits inside and where you pay admission to the museum. And it even has a number of cabooses on display as well. What you see right behind me is Norfolk and Western 562-845.
Norfolk and Western 562-845 was built by the Wabash Shops in Decatur, Illinois in 1952 and is an all-steel cupola caboose. Originally, it was used for the Wabash Railroad and was originally numbered 2845. It was used many years ago on freight trains for many years as the train crew's office whenever it was in service. Then, in 1964, the Wabash merged to the Norfolk and Western Railroad and the car was renumbered 562-845. Then, in the 1980s, this caboose was retired and then it was put on display in this spot at the Hagerstown Railroad Museum in Hagerstown, Maryland, where it is today. And also you could find this caboose by the entryway of the museum grounds as well. And you'll see it has on it some info about the museum as well.
What you see right behind me is Western Maryland 1885.
Western Maryland 1885 was built by the Western Maryland Shops in Hagerstown, Maryland in 1940 and is a northeastern steel caboose. This caboose was used on the railroad many years ago on the back of freight trains and used as the train crew's office. In 1973, the Chessie system became a parenting company of the Western Maryland Railroad along with two more railroads, the Chesapeake in Ohio and Baltimore in Ohio, and it was likely repainted in the Chessie system scheme. Then it was retired and then it was acquired by the Hagerstown Railroad Museum in Hagerstown, Maryland, where it is today.
What you see right behind me is Western Maryland 202.
Western Maryland 202 was built by Baldwin in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania in 1912 and is the 380/76 steam locomotive built by that factory and is a 462 Pacific type steam locomotive and is a K2 class steam locomotive. The locomotive was used on the Western Maryland Railroad for hauling passenger trains on the railroad many years ago and ran between Baltimore, Maryland and Chicago, Illinois and pulled a passenger such as the Chicago Limited and Baltimore Limited. Then, in 1953, the locomotive was retired and was placed on display in Hagerstown City Park in Hagerstown, Maryland. In 1983, it was sold to an individual named John Long who started, but never completed, a program of restoration work. After he passed away, the locomotive was put on display in Hagerstown, Maryland, and is part of the Hagerstown Railroad Museum where it is today. Also, Western Maryland 202 is the only remaining Western Maryland 462 left in the world today and can be found here at the Hagerstown Railroad Museum in Hagerstown, Maryland, where it is today. And you can also visit the locomotive's cab and sit where the engineer and fireman used to sit, and even ring the locomotive's bell.
And that's how it's done. What you see right behind me is the Chesapeake and Ohio caboose.
The Chesapeake and Ohio caboose was built around the 1900s and is an all-steel cupola caboose. This caboose was originally numbered with a Chesapeake and Ohio 3000 series number, and it was used for many years on the back of freight trains and used as the train crew's office.
In 1973, the Chesney system became a parenting company to the Chesapeake and Ohio Railroad, along with the Western Maryland Railroad and Baltimore and Ohio Railroad.
And this caboose was likely renumbered with a 903,000 series number for that railroad. Also, the number that this caboose had originally is unknown. Then later on, this caboose was retired and was then moved to the Hagerstown Railroad Museum in Hagerstown, Maryland, and also you can even visit the interior of it as well.
What you see right behind me is Seaboard System 12168.
Seaboard System 16128 was built by the Louisville-Nashville shops in Louisville, Kentucky in the 1960s and is a bay window caboose. This caboose was originally used for the Louisville-Nashville Railroad, and this is the original number. It was used as the train crew's office for many years and also used on the back of freight trains as well. Then the railroad merged to the Seaboard system, and the car then kept the number. Then this caboose was retired and it was then acquired by the Hagerstown Railroad Museum in Hagerstown, Maryland, where it is today.
What you see right behind me is Western Maryland 1865.
Western Maryland 1865 was built by the Western Maryland shops in Hagerstown, Maryland in 1940 and is a northeastern steel caboose. This caboose was used on the railroads many years ago on the back of freight trains and used as the train crew's office. Then
In 1973, the Chesney system became a parenting company of the Western Maryland Railroad, along with the Baltimore and Ohio Railroad and the Chesapeake and Ohio Railroad.
and it was likely repainted in the Chesney system scheme. Then it was retired and then it was acquired by the Hagerstown Railroad Museum in Hagerstown, Maryland, where it is today.
What you see right behind me is Western Maryland 1850.
Western Maryland 1850 was likely built by the Western Maryland shops in Hagerstown, Maryland in 1937 and is a northeastern steel caboose. This caboose had been used on the railroads many years ago on the back of freight trains and used as the train crew's office. Then in 1973,
The Chessie system became a parenting company to the Western Maryland Railroad, along with the Chesapeake and Ohio Railroad and Baltimore and Ohio Railroad.
and it was repainted in the Chessie system scheme. Then it was retired and then it was acquired by the Hagerstown Railroad Museum in Hagerstown, Maryland, where it is today.
What you see right behind me is the Baltimore and Ohio Keedysville Depot.
The Baltimore and Ohio Keedysville Depot was built around the 1900s or late 1800s and was originally located in Keedysville, Maryland, and was used many years ago on the Baltimore and Ohio Railroad. And it's where people would board a train going somewhere from Keedysville or arriving on a train coming from somewhere into Keedysville. And also the depot was also a freight depot. Then later the depot was retired and then got relocated from Keedysville, Maryland and been brought into Hagerstown, Maryland, and it is part of the Hagerstown Railroad Museum and where admission gets paid to visit the museum, and also where you can find exhibits inside and also a model railroad as well.
Well, I hope you all enjoyed learning about trains with me today in Matthew Lapp Train Guy. Also, I hope to see you all again real soon. And if you didn't subscribe to my channel yet, the subscribe button is just down below the video screen. And if you didn't give the Facebook page a like yet, here's where you'll want to go. And if you didn't give the Instagram page a follow yet, here's where you'll want to go as well. Also, be sure to get your merch at teesprings.com. I'll have the link in the description box below, along with the Facebook and Instagram pages. And as always, remember to subscribe to the Train Guy. So this is Matthew Lapp, host of Matthew Lapp Train Guy, signing out. Until next time, all aboard.